So there's some news in the NFL today, and the Miami Dolphins tendered one of their players. And a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about the other news, so I'm going to talk about it. What is up, Finn fans? So there's a little news, a little cap update I'm going to give you, and then obviously we heard what happened today, and a bunch of you guys are like, hey, you're going to talk about it. Hey, Doug, make a video, blah, 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 this, and that. So, again, I made this channel for a reason, and if it is not because of you guys, I wouldn't be where I am. So I listen, and if enough of you guys and a ton of guys have said this, that they want me to talk about a subject, I'm going to talk about the subject. So I'm going to talk about the subject. But before we jump into that, I have to shout out today's sponsor. That is Manscaped.com. One of you guys already told me use the promo code, got yourself some Manscaped. So be sure to use the promo code. But let's jump into past Doug and talk a little bit more about Manscaped.com. If you don't know about Manscaped.com, they are fantastic products that include Lawnmower 4.0 and other great products for the man hygiene. Women can use it as well. But they sent me the Perfect Package 4.0, which comes with, again, the Lawnmower 4.0. It's their newer version of it, hence 4.0. Waterproof, has a light on it. Great for your skin, doesn't nick you. Use it on my face all the time. I shape myself up, which I need to do recently, but you could use it anywhere on your body that hair is. They sent that to me. They also sent me the Crop Preserver, and they sent me the Crop Reviver in this Perfect Package 4.0. If you use the promo code DDW20, you're going to get yourself 20% off. You're going to get yourself some free shipping, and you're also going to get yourself 2 gifts with this. So go over to manscaped.com, use the promo code DDW20, and get yourself the Perfect Package 4.0. And thank you so much for sponsoring this video. All right, let's jump into this. First and foremost, Nik Needham. Dolphins put a second-round tender on him. Tenderonis, tenders, chicken tenders. And essentially what that means is a team can talk to him, propose a contract to him, and the Miami Dolphins have the right to essentially match that offer. And if they don't, then he goes to that team, and the Dolphins get a second-round pick from that team. I think, and again, it was a long time ago. My memory is a little hazy, but I think that's what they did with Wes Welker. I think they put a second-round tender on him, and then I think he came to a contract agreement with the Patriots, and then the Dolphins traded him to the Patriots for that second-round pick, if my memory is correct. So Nik Needham right now has a second-round tender on him. That's $3.9 million this year, which is good. No one scored a touchdown on Nik Needham. Nik Needham had a very good year. He keeps getting better every year, so I'm very happy for that. Miami Dolphins right now are sitting at $48 million in cap space after the franchise tag on Mike Gesicki and now the second-round tender on Nik Needham. They need $7.9 million as of right now where they're sitting with their draft picks. Again, if they trade the 29th overall draft pick, then it'll be less money than the $7.9 million. But $48 million is in cap space right now, and again, they still have not cut anybody. I don't know when they're going to, but I swear to God, if Jesse Davis is on this team the 16th, I'm going to lose my marbles. But there's that, right? Nik Needham, franchise tenderoni, tenderlicious. There's that, right? No other news really out of the Dolphins camp, out of the Dolphins world besides that. But then there's the big news. And I told you guys late last night or early this morning, depending on how you see it, that today was a big day for this specific person. And I told you I was going to talk about him. And I haven't talked about him in a hot minute. That's Deshaun Watson. He was not indicted by the grand jury on his, I think it was nine of them. My brain, I said Dallas, Houston, and then I said Patrick Graham instead of Jimmy Graham in late last night's video that I recorded at 11, and having a child. You guys know. I'm preaching to the choir to the guys who have kids out there. But he was not indicted, right? Watson, from what I'm hearing, pled the fifth, which essentially means he did not say anything. I think his lawyers told him just let them hear the facts and hear everything, and then let them make the decision. Don't say anything. So he pled the fifth. He didn't say anything. He still has his civil suits. I don't know how many of them he has, and still can be suspended by the NFL. I know a lot of people are saying, well, he wasn't charged with anything. Why would he be suspended by the NFL? Because he still has his civil suits. He still has to deal with that aspect of it, and he still can and probably will be suspended by the NFL. But the fact that he isn't indicted, I honestly think he gets traded before Monday. I honestly think he's going to get traded before Monday. And we all heard from Chris Grier saying that that door is closed at the Combine. Now, you guys know I defend Tua. You guys know I come on here, and if someone has a bad take on Tua, which there's so many, calling him a noodle arm, saying that he only throws it 5 yards, saying he has horrible pocket presence, he can't read the defense, all this stuff is just wrong. And I was like, you know what? Make a video showing his best throws, and then people will shut up about it. But that's not true, because I every week broke down film, and people still ignored it. So it is what it is. think I'm going to break down his best and worst plays of the year sometime in the off season, just to kind of see where he can grow and develop. I'm still going to do that. So I'm still doing some film breakdown. But you know, if someone comes out and says something that I'm like, that's just blatantly false, because here's the physical evidence of it, I do it, right? But I still have my reservations about Tua. And I've made that very well known, even though certain people like to ignore that, right? Certain people like to come on here and comment that you go on other people's channels and you say different things, and you come on here, and I never change my thoughts, whatever, regardless of where I go. That's the best thing about having this YouTube channel, is I have receipts. I've been consistent through all of my collabs, all of my talks, all of my takes. The Tua Tagovailoa's biggest problem is his inconsistencies. You have you have Justin Herbert, and you have Joe Burrow, who are a little bit more consistent. You have Tua Tagovailoa, who's inconsistent. He makes fantastic throws, whether it was to Isaiah Ford, whether it was to Devontae Parker, whether it was to Waddle, Gesicki, whoever, Matt Collins. You're like, you see that throw he made? And then the next drive, that same play is open, or a play similar is open deep, and he doesn't throw it. And he throws a check down. Drives me nuts. Inconsistent. My man, you showed that you can make that throw again. Right? So you guys know how I feel about Tua. I think he can develop into something really good. I think he can develop into a really good NFL quarterback. It's just he needs the time, and he's inconsistent. So I'm just reiterating this for the people who are like, boo. It makes me laugh. That being said, and I said this on TD's channel earlier, I think around like 7 o'clock, 6:30 today, that it was really dumb for Chris Grier to come out and say the door is closed on Deshaun Watson. Really dumb. And not in the aspect because, oh my God, please, I want Deshaun Watson so bad. No, from a business standpoint, to completely shut something off and to completely shut something down, it's like burning your bridges when you quit a job, or when whatever you go on to a different department or whatever. It's dumb, because you never know, right? One day you might want to go back to that job. One day they might have a better position at that job that you always never burn your bridges. To all the people who are young, never burn your bridges when you leave a job and go to somewhere else. Always leave cordially, give them the 2 weeks, yada, yada. And the fact that Chris Grier came out and said doors closed is dumb in my part, because right now you have Deshaun Watson, who is not indicted, right? And like I said, he's going to get traded. For how much, I don't know, but he's going to get traded. It'd be dumb for him not to pick the phone up. It'd be dumb for him not to see how much. Now, don't get me wrong, the Dolphins need a lot right now. They need a lot right now. They need some offensive line help still. They need some more wide receivers, because Preston Williams is a free agent. Albert Wilson is a free agent. He needs some more wide receivers. Because right now I think Allen Hurns, Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and Lynn Bowden Jr. I think are the only receivers active on the roster right now. 4. You need a few more. And then again, you need linebacker help. You have one active running back on the team. So again, it depends, but I think it'd be dumb. It was dumb for him to completely shut that down. As much as people are tired of hearing about Deshaun Watson, and I've said this, again, my thoughts on this situation and my thoughts on Deshaun Watson have not changed. I'm debating whether I want to go back into my archives of videos and pull up me quoting it a year or two ago, saying that for the right price, and if not found guilty, and if he didn't do or was dealing with these legal issues, the Dolphins would have traded for him. It's a fact. He's a top 5 quarterback that put up ridiculous numbers with a horrible Houston Texans team. He is an elite quarterback. So to sit here and say, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, it's like, eh. But again, I said this on TD's channel. I see both sides. And that's what I always try to do on this channel. On this channel, I always try to give you fair, unbiased, down the middle facts, information, and my thoughts, right? Because on the one side, you have Tua Tagovailoa, who I said to you guys is a very good quarterback in my eyes, can become even better. Well, right now, he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's very good. I think he's good. I think he has his inconsistencies. I think he has his problems he needs to work on, get better with. But he can become a very good quarterback. I think he could become a top 15 quarterback. I think he can take a team to a championship. Now, there's certain variables and all that, but I still see that, and I see where people come from where ride with Tua because there's that promise there. But then on the flip side, you have Deshaun Watson, who went to the playoffs consistently, got far in the playoffs with not a great team around him because of how dynamic of a player Deshaun Watson is. So to sit here and not knock on that door, pick up the phone is dumb. And if I pulled up all 32 teams right now and I told you, I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. Of all the teams, right? Looking at our division, it'd be dumb for the Patriots not to pick up the phone and see what's going on with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is so much better than Mac Jones. New York Jets, it'd be dumb of them not to pick up the phone and see what Deshaun Watson can go for. He's so much better than Zach Wilson. Pittsburgh Steelers, obvious. Cleveland Browns, obvious. Baltimore Ravens, it'd be dumb for them not to pick up the phone. Because yes, Lamar Jackson is a dynamic athlete, but he's not that great of a passer. And Deshaun Watson is better. Tennessee Titans, it'd be dumb of them not to pick up the phone, but that's not going to work because it's in the same division. Colts, Titans, and Jaguars, he's not getting traded within the division. Chiefs, no. Raiders, it'd be dumb of them not to pick up the phone. They'd be dumb. Chargers, yeah, I give it. All right. They wouldn't pick up the phone. You got that young up-and-comer. Denver Broncos, you just traded for a quarterback for no. Dallas Cowboys, it'd be dumb of them not to pick up the phone. Philadelphia Eagles, dumb of them not to pick up the phone. Washington Commanders, it was dumb of them to not wait on that trade. New York Giants, even though they said and they came out and they were adamant that they're going with Daniel Jones, really dumb of them not to pick up the phone. Minnesota Vikings, pick up the phone. Chicago Bears, pick up the phone. Detroit Lions, pick up the phone. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pick up the phone. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, that whole South, they're going to call. When you look at the West, Arizona Cardinals, it would be dumb of them not to pick up the phone. He is so much better than Kyler Murray. San Francisco 49ers, Trey Lance is their next up-and-comer. Dumb of them not to pick up the phone. Seattle Seahawks, same thing. LA Rams, he's better than Stafford. So if you look at all 32 teams right now in the NFL, Bills, Bengals, obviously the whole South, but that's for obvious reasons. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Packers, those are the only teams that are probably like, we don't have to call about Deshaun Watson. I named, 8? Give or take? I didn't even count while I was naming them. That's how many teams would be dumb not to see what Deshaun Watson's going for. Because he's that dynamic of a player. And he can make your team that much better. But again, it depends on your stance. And I see both sides. I see Tua Tagovailoa on there, very young. He's got his problems, but he can get better. But, and I said this on TD's channel, that's where some fans on the opposite side that want Deshaun Watson are rubbed the wrong way, because we were told, pro-ready. Tua's pro-ready. He's going to come in. He doesn't need help yada, yada, whatever you want to say. And he does. He needs to develop a little bit more because he still shows crazy inconsistencies. Could that be because of the offensive line? Of course, but there's still areas where he's had time. He hasn't made the throws. But he still has a ton of promise. And then the flip side, Deshaun Watson. I just named you how many teams out of 32 teams that should pick up the phone. And the Dolphins are one of them. Unless you have that elite top 5 quarterback right now, you'd be dumb not to pick. So there's 5 teams that don't need to pick up the phone because their quarterback's better than Deshaun Watson. See what I'm saying? Or you don't have the cap space, or you're in the AFC South, or you don't have the draft picks. Also, the other thing we have to realize is Deshaun Watson has a no trade clause. So say the Minnesota Vikings call up and say, hey, we'll give you whatever you want. Deshaun's probably like, I'm not going to Minnesota. Are you out of your mind? I'm not going to Minnesota. Cleveland. I'm pretty sure Cleveland would give up a lot. He's like, I'm not going to Cleveland. So this whole situation is going to be interesting. Would I trade for Deshaun Watson? Again, depends on how much you ask. Because the Dolphins still have a lot of needs. If they want the 3 firsts and 2 2s and 3 players, Deshaun Watson's coming to a team that's worse than the Houston Texans team that he went 4-12 on. And I don't know if he does much. Because if the Dolphins give up that much for Deshaun Watson, how are they going to fix the offensive line? They also have to pay him this year. There goes a huge chunk of the cap space. How are they going to give him weapons on the receiver position besides Jalen Waddle? How are they going to give him a running back besides Mike Gesicki, Myles Gaskin, who's the only one on the team right now? How are they going to fix the linebacker? You see what I'm saying? So it depends. It depends. And also depends, would he take a pay cut or would he take a restructuring of his contract to help the Dolphins out? But that door's closed, apparently, to Chris Grier. So, in a nutshell, he's not indicted, and he's going to get traded this weekend. It's not to the Dolphins. Am I upset about that? Not really. This is why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's a lot of people that are upset, real upset, about the fact that the Dolphins aren't going after Deshaun Watson. TD's one of them. I talked to him about it. He's one of them. But that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. People get so upset with me. Who do you want the Dolphins to pick 5th overall? I said I got a few names. Why can't you just pick one person? Because you put your eggs in one basket, you're disappointed. There's 3 players I like right now. If they pick one of those 3, I'm happy. This past draft, I want Jalen Waddle, I wanted Penei Sewell, and I wanted Kyle Pitts. We got one of the 3. I'm good. Because then you're miserable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you listened. Again, I'll say this again. I hope you listened to what I had to say and didn't just jump to the comment section. If you're 4-2, I hope you didn't listen to me just talking about Deshaun Watson, how good he is, and how so many teams would go for him and say, well, I thought you wanted Tua. And if you're on the other side, don't do the same thing and be like, see, I told. Listen to what I have to say. Because if you didn't and you commented, I'm just going to tell you to rewatch the video. But I love you guys. It's going to be interesting. Where Deshaun Watson gets traded. There's a lot of trade rumors out there. Amari Cooper, Leia Collins. Then we have free agent. Oh, craziness. Absolute craziness. But I'll see you in the next video. Again, I'm not going to give you a specific time or day when I'm going to make another video. Because if news breaks, you're going to get it from me. So I'll see you in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. And fins up.